Hello, my dear students. My name is Sachin Jadhav, founder Fundamental Pharmacy, author of Fundamentals of GPAT Sniper DI Pharmacist Volume 1, GPAT Crack Your MCQ book, and few more books. Welcomes you in this YouTube video session. My dear students, if you are new on our channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any video from me. My dear students, in this video, we are going to see very important MCQs for your GPAT NIPER Drug Inspector Government Pharmacist exam. And basically we are going to see GPAT NIPER 2023 Cracker MCQ part 1. And these MCQs are from general pharmacology part of your pharmacology subject. These MCQs are very important. It's my request to you, please watch this video until end. Match the scientist with their respective contribution in the field of pharmacology. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैच करने के लिए पूछा है. सो साइंटिस्ट दिया है एक रो में आपको. So first one is Oswald Schmidberg. Q is nothing but the Banting and Best. R is nothing but the Paul Ehrlich. S is nothing but the Goodell. पहले रो में दिया आपको साइंटिस्ट, दूसरे रो में दिया है उसका कंट्रीब्यूशन देख लो. फर्स्ट इज अ डिस्कवरी ऑफ इंसुलिन, सेकंड इज अ coin the term chemotherapy, third one is a describe the stages of general anesthesia, fourth one is a father of pharmacology. यहाँ पे देखो क्या पूछा है कि ये जो साइंटिस्ट है और इनका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है इसके Oswald Schmidberg is known as a father of pharmacology. Banting and Best they discovered the insulin. ये मालूम होना चाहिए. Then Paul Ehrlich is known as a father of chemotherapy and he coined the term chemotherapy. Then Goodell is the scientist. Goodell in 1920 described the 4 stages of general anesthesia by referring to a general anesthetic ether. So just find out the match, correct match. So P belongs to 4. So P belongs to 4 where ऑप्शन ए में देखो P4 दिया है और ऑप्शन बाकी ऑप्शन सी में भी देखो P4 दिया है, ऑप्शन डी में भी दिया है P4. ये तीन ऑप्शन में आंसर हो सकता है आपका. अभी दूसरे पे जाओ. पेंटिंग एंड बेस्ट इज फॉर डिस्कवरी ऑफ इंसुलिन Q1. तो P4 Q1 कहाँ पे, ये दोनों में भी नहीं है तो ये छोड़ो, ये तो गए. अभी P4 Q1 कहाँ पे, इसमें है. ठीक है, तो R क्या है देखो, R is nothing but the Paul Ehrlich known as who coined the term chemotherapy. So R2 correct है. Yes, that is Goodell has described the 4 stages of general anesthesia. So yes 3. So यहाँ पे ऑप्शन डी आपका जो है वो करेक्ट आंसर है और आप इजीली. So option D is the correct answer over here. Now second question, discovery of streptomycin the credit goes to. तो यहाँ पे बेसिकली पूछा है कि स्ट्रेप्टोमाइसिन का क्रेडिट किसको जाता है डिस्कवर करने का. ऑप्शन ए इज नथिंग बट द अलेक्जेंडर फ्लेमिंग, ऑप्शन बी इज नथिंग बट द वाल्क्समैन, ऑप्शन सी इज नथिंग बट द डोमेक, ऑप्शन डी इज नथिंग बट द सर टर्नर. स्ट्रेप्टोमाइसिन का डिस्कवरी किया है वाल्क्समैन ने. सो स्ट्रेप्टोमाइसिन वाज डिस्कवर्ड बाय दिस वाल्क्समैन. सो ऑप्शन बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. सो लेट्स सी नेक्स्ट. देखो पूछता है व्हिच इज नॉट ट्रू रिगार्डिंग द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉल एरलिच इन द फार्माकोलॉजी. So question 3 is nothing but the which is not true regarding the contribution of Paul Ehrlich in pharmacology. कि पूछा है कि नीचे दिए कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन है उसमें से पॉल एरलिच का कंट्रीब्यूशन कौन सा नहीं है या फिर कौन सा गलत है. सो कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या है, सो स्टेटमेंट्स आर गिवन ओवर हियर. सो फर्स्ट इज coin the term chemotherapy, observed certain dyes stain microbes selectively and can be toxic to them. Third statement, developed cellular sun for treatment of syphilis and fourth statement is developed the proton seal dye. देखो यहाँ पे पूछा है कि which is not true regarding contribution of Paul Ehrlich in pharmacology. ये 4 स्टेटमेंट दिए हैं. तो पहला स्टेटमेंट coin the term chemotherapy, तो ये वाला तो स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है because it is known as a father of chemotherapy. दूसरा स्टेटमेंट है observe certain dye stains microbe selectively and can be toxic to them. ये वाला भी करेक्ट ही है. स्टेटमेंट 3 दिया है डेवलप्ड सेलुलर सन फॉर ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ सेपेलिस, तो ये वाला भी स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है. लास्ट स्टेटमेंट है आपका देखो डेवलप्ड प्रोटॉन सील डाई, सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट करेक्ट. सो द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पाउल एलरिच इन द फार्माकोलॉजी इज नथिंग बट द फर्स्ट 3 स्टेटमेंट, फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग. सो फाइंड द करेक्ट आंसर. सो ऑप्शन ए 1 2 and 3 only, ऑप्शन बी 1 and 3 only, ऑप्शन सी 2 only, ऑप्शन डी 4 only. So यहाँ पे आपका ऑप्शन डी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. सो दिस वाज द क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. नाउ विल सी द क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. सो आइडेंटिफाई रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट फ्रॉम द फॉलोइंग. देखो पूछता है यहाँ पे कि गलत स्टेटमेंट कौन सा है. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज नथिंग बट द विटामिन B12 also called as extrinsic factor of Castle. Option B is the warfarin originally was used as a rat poison. Then option C, vitamin K was isolated from alpha-alpha class. Option D, thalidomide was used as anti-cancer. देखो यहाँ पे रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट कौन सा है ये पूछा है. पहला स्टेटमेंट तो करेक्ट है, फर्स्ट वन इज आल्सो करेक्ट, सेकंड one is also correct. So warfarin is nothing but the anticoagulant drug. It was originally developed as a rat poison. Okay. Then option C जो है विटामिन के वाज आइसोलेटेड फ्रॉम अल्फा अल्फा क्लास, ये भी स्टेटमेंट सही है. तो ऑप्शन डी कौन सा स्टेटमेंट है? ऑप्शन डी में क्या दिए थे? थैलिडोमाइड वाज यूज्ड एज एंटी कैंसर ड्रग. तो थैलिडोमाइड वाज नॉट यूज्ड एज एंटी कैंसर ड्रग, इट वाज अ ड्रग यूज्ड इन द मोशन सिकनेस इन द प्रेग्नेंट वुमन. तो ये ड्रग जो है थैलिडोमाइड मोशन सिकनेस के लिए प्रेग्नेंट वुमन में यूज करते थे, और बाद में ये पता चला कि इट इज नथिंग बट द टेरेटोजेनिक. So thalidomide was used in the treatment of motion sickness in pregnant women, and later it was found to be teratogenic in nature. It was causing phocomelia. Phocomelia means absence of legs. Now only S isomer of this thalidomide is responsible for the teratogenic effect. Remember. Okay. You see the next question now. देखो क्वेश्चन नंबर 5. देखो पूछता है identify name of drug given by nasal route. So basically they are asking to identify the name of drug not given by nasal route. So they are mentioned four drugs: neparelin, then calcitonin, then nitroglycerin, and then desmopressin. So out of these four, which drug is not given by nasal route? So remember, neparelin, calcitonin, and desmopressin. These three drugs are given by nasal route. But nitroglycerin, the most common route for this nitroglycerin is a sublingual route. It is also given by oral route. It is also given by parenterally. It is also given by topically, but it is not given by intranasal route or nasal route. So remember, this nitroglycerin is a drug used in the treatment of angina pectoris. It is a vasodilator. So option C is the correct answer. Now next question, that is question number 6. देखो पूछता है the route of administration by which rate of drug delivery can be controlled. The route of administration by which rate of drug delivery can be controlled. ऑप्शन में देखो, ऑप्शन ए इंट्रावेनस, ऑप्शन बी इनहेलेशन रूट, ऑप्शन सी इंट्रामस्कुलर, ऑप्शन डी both A and B. So basically they are asking here, so which route of drug administration you can control the drug delivery. So obviously by using intravenous route you can control the rate of introduction inside the body. By inhalation route also you can control the rate of drug delivery to the body. So intravenous and inhalation both you can control the rate of drug delivery, but by intramuscular route you cannot control the rate of drug delivery. So here option D is the correct answer. Okay, we'll see the next question. So question number 7 is nothing but the when pH of medium and pKa of drug is same, the ionized fraction of drug will be. So यहाँ पे देखो पूछा है कि मीडियम का pH and ड्रग का pK अगर सेम है तो आयोनाइज्ड फ्रैक्शन ड्रग का कितना होगा. So remember over here, so if you have to do pH minus pK, you will get certain values like 0, 1, -1, 2 and -2. So there is one table given in every pharmacology book, and it is also present in my book also. So remember, when pH minus pK will come 0, that means a 50% drug will be ionized and 50% drug will be unionized. Okay, so when pH minus pK of drug comes 0, 50% drug is ionized and 50% is unionized. Option A is the answer over here. Now we will see the next question. So question number 8 is there. So देखो पूछता है about the bioavailability of drug. So they have given the statements over here regarding the bioavailability, and they are asking which statement are correct or not. So we'll read the first about the bioavailability of drug. First statement: amount of unchanged drug reaches to a systemic circulation. Statement Q: it is 100% when drug given by intravenous route. Next statement: pre-systemic metabolism decreases the bioavailability. Next statement: amount of drug reaches to a systemic circulation in any form. So basically उन्होंने क्या पूछा है कि बायो अवेलेबिलिटी के बारे में पूछा है, स्टेटमेंट दिए और ये इनमें से कितने स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है कितने रॉन्ग है ये आपको ढूंढना है. यहाँ पे याद रखो, अमाउंट ऑफ अनचेंज्ड ड्रग that reaches to a systemic circulation is nothing but the bioavailability. That is the definition of bioavailability. Bioavailability is 100% when drug is given by intravenous route. So it is also correct. And pre-systemic metabolism decreases the bioavailability. Pre-systemic metabolism means first pass effect. So obviously first pass effect will decrease the bioavailability. So this is also correct. So last statement क्या है? Amount of drug reaches to a systemic circulation in any form. So this statement is wrong. What is the bioavailability? Availability of biologically active drug. Absorption of drug into the blood without changing its form, original form. So that is nothing but the bioavailability. So here option A, P, Q, R, S are the correct. Then option B, P, Q are correct and R, S are wrong. Option C, P, Q, R are correct. Yes is wrong. Option D, P, Q, R, S all are wrong. So P, Q, R statement are the correct statement, but yes is nothing but the wrong statement. We see the next question. The next question देखो पूछता है about the plasma protein binding of drug. Read the statement and find the correct option. So statement दिया है क्या है? First P, increase in the absorption of drug. That means plasma protein binding increase in the absorption of drug. Two, lipid soluble drug will have large volume of distribution. R, high protein binding drug will be the less volume of distribution and vice versa. Yes, protein binding of drug makes drug longer acting. So basically they have given the four statement here about the plasma protein binding of drug and they are asking to find the correct option. In option they are mentioned like PQRS are correct. Then option B, PQ are correct and R and S are wrong. Option C, PQR are correct, yes is wrong. Option D, PQRS all are wrong. So you have to find the correct option. So remember, plasma protein binding increases the absorption of drug because binding of drug to a plasma protein that makes drug inactive physically and chemically biologically in the blood. That means there is no drug in the blood. So there is a existence of your concentration gradient. So there will be increased absorption. That is the driving force for absorption of drug. Now, second statement is lipid soluble drug will have large volume of distribution. Obviously, lipid soluble drugs they will go in the all the tissue. They can easily diffuse through capillary membrane and all that. So that's why lipid soluble drug will have large volume of distribution. High protein binding of drug this will be the volume of distribution and vice versa. तो जितना ज़्यादा प्रोटीन बाउंड करता है ड्रग उसका वॉल्यूम ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कम होता है जितना ज़्यादा प्रोटीन बाइंडिंग करेगा उतना ज़्यादा वॉल्यूम ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कम रहेगा बिकॉज हाईली प्रोटीन बाउंड ड्रग will be concentrated in the blood only will not go in the other tissue and vice versa means low protein binding drug will have large volume of distribution statements yes is nothing but the protein binding of drug makes longer acting protein bound drug is not available for metabolism is not available for distribution is not available for elimination remember a protein bound drug is not available for metabolism distribution and elimination as protein bound drug is not available for metabolism duration of action is okay so that's why protein binding of drug makes drug longer acting so find the correct option over here so basically all statements are true so here option A is the correct okay, option A is the correct now we'll see the next question question number 10 lignocaine this name of drug can be characterized under बेसिकली यहाँ पे पूछा है कि लिग्नोकेन एक नाम है ड्रग का ये किस कैटेगरी के अंदर आता है ऑप्शन ए है केमिकल नेम ऑप्शन बी नॉन प्रोप्राइटरी नेम ऑप्शन सी प्रोप्राइटरी नेम ऑप्शन डी ऑल ऑफ द तो यहाँ पे लिग्नोकेन इज द नेम ऑफ ड्रग दैट कम्स अंडर द व्हिच कैटेगरी ऑप्शन ए केमिकल नेम ऑप्शन बी नॉन प्रोप्राइटरी नेम ऑप्शन सी प्रोप्राइटरी नेम ऑप्शन डी ऑल ऑफ द so this lidocaine it comes under non-proprietary name okay so if typic name is given that comes under the chemical name so lidocaine is the chemical name lignocaine is the proprietary name and xylocaine is the brand where which consists of a lignocaine as an active drug so xylocaine is a proprietary name so xylocaine becomes proprietary name lidocaine becomes chemical name and lignocaine becomes non-proprietary name okay so option B is the correct answer over now next question we'll see question number 11 देखो यहाँ पे पूछा है most common microsomal phase second metabolic reaction this question is very important and lot of time they have already asked this question the most common microsomal phase second metabolic reaction option A is oxidation option B is acetylation option C glucuronide conjugation option D glutathione conjugation so here option C glucuronide conjugation is the correct answer the most common microsomal phase second metabolic reaction is nothing but the glucuronide conjugation now we'll see the next question again this question is that that dash are the most common phase first and phase second metabolic reaction respectively. This kind of question they are already asked in GPAT 2000. Most common phase first reaction is oxidation and the most common phase second reaction is the glucuronide conjugation. So option A oxidation acetylation, option B hydrolysis glucuronide conjugation, option C oxidation glucuronide conjugation, option D hydrolysis and glutathione conjugation. So obviously option C oxidation and glucuronide conjugation. तो फेज फर्स्ट में ऑक्सीडेशन सबसे ज़्यादा कॉमन होता है, फेज सेकंड में ग्लूकोयोनाइड कॉन्जुगेशन सबसे ज़्यादा कॉमन होता है. सो ऑप्शन सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. नाउ विल सी genetic polymorphism is associated with the following metabolic reaction. The options are oxidation, acetylation, option C glucuronide conjugation and option D glutathione conjugation. देखो यहाँ पे पूछा है कि जेनेटिक पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म कौन से मेटाबॉलिक रिएक्शन में होता है. यहाँ पे याद रखो जेनेटिक पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म एस्टाइलेशन में होता है. जेनेटिक पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म इज रिलेटेड विद एस्टाइलेशन रिएक्शन. सो मल्टीपल जीन्स दैट कंट्रोल्स द enzyme acetylase, okay, it controls the enzyme acetylase, and that's why individual may differ in the capacity for the acetylation. So depending on that, patients or subject are classified into slow acetylators or fast acetylators, particularly for sulfonamides, isoniazide and kind of drugs. Okay, so slow acetylators, in that you have to decrease the dose. In case of rapid acetylators you have to increase the dose of it. Okay, so option B is the correct one. Now question number 14 we'll see. In the drug elimination process, that dash does not depend on the lipid solubility. So basically यहाँ पे पूछा है कि in elimination process that dash does not depends on the lipid solubility. कौन सा dependent है? So glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion, tubular secretion, glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption. Option D में दिया है glomerular filtration and tubular secretion. So remember, for filtration, whatever that comes in the blood that will be filtrated. Okay, everything will be filtrated in the kidney, right from ions, right from sugar and from vitamins. So everything will be filtrated. So whether they are lipid soluble or water soluble doesn't matter. They will be filtrated. But there will be reabsorption. What is essential? So whatever essential is there, that will be reabsorbed. Now for reabsorption, lipid, whenever there is a reabsorption, there is a lipid solubility. Here option D, glomerular filtration and tubular secretion does not affect by lipid solubility. So in the drug elimination process, glomerular filtration and tubular secretion does not depends on the lipid solubility of drug. Now we'll see the next question. Most of the drug will follow dead dash kinetics. देखो पूछा है कि सबसे ज्यादा ड्रग कौन से प्रोसेस को फॉलो करता है. ऑप्शन दिया है, ऑप्शन ए इज द फर्स्ट ऑर्डर काइनेटिक्स, ऑप्शन बी जीरो ऑर्डर काइनेटिक, ऑप्शन सी मिक्स्ड ऑर्डर काइनेटिक्स, ऑप्शन डी नन ऑफ द. सो हियर your answer is option A. Most of the drug they follow first order kinetic, remember. And those drug which are very lipid soluble, they are highly lipid soluble, they will follow zero order kinetics. Okay, next question, question number 16. Which one is not true regarding the loading dose of drug? तो यहाँ पे पूछा है कि loading dose of drug के बारे में कौन सा statement गलत है. Option A is used for drugs having larger T half and larger volume of distribution, means loading dose. And option B, loading dose depends on volume of distribution. Option C, large dose to attain the steady state concentration to saturate the tissue soul. Option D, does not depends on volume of distribution. Basically यहाँ पे loading dose के बारे में statements दिए हैं and you have to identify wrong statement or the statement which is not true. So loading dose is nothing but it is used for the drug having longer TR, जिसका बायोलॉजिकल हाफ लाइफ बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, वॉल्यूम ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, उनके लिए एक स्टेडी एक डिजायर्ड अमाउंट ब्लड में आने के लिए लोडिंग डोज दिया जाता है. ये स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है. ऑप्शन बी, लोडिंग डोज डिपेंड्स ऑन द वॉल्यूम ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. ऑब्वियसली द लोडिंग डोज डिपेंड्स ऑन द वॉल्यूम ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. Less will be the volume of distribution, less will be the loading dose. Okay, large will be the volume of distribution. Okay, the loading dose will be high, like that. Option C दिया है, large dose to attain the steady state concentration to saturate the tissue stores. That is again correct regarding loading dose. Now, what is not correct? Option D does not depends on volume of distribution. So loading dose depends on the volume of distribution. So here option D is the correct answer. We will see the next question. Number 17, therapeutic drug monitoring is done for the drugs except. So basically यहाँ पे देखो therapeutic drug monitoring done for drugs except कौन से ड्रग के लिए नहीं करना है therapeutic drug monitoring. तो ऑप्शन में देखो ऑप्शन ए having known correlation between serum level and response or toxicity, having wide variation in the kinetics, having low therapeutic index, which are the prodrugs. So therapeutic drug monitoring is done for drug which are having known correlation between serum level and response of toxicity. तो जिनको टॉक्सिटी होता है ज़्यादा, जो ड्रग ज़्यादा टॉक्सिक होता है उनका थेरेपेटिक ड्रग मॉनिटरिंग करते हैं. वो हैविंग वाइड वेरिएशन इन द काइनेटिक्स, जो भी ड्रग का काइनेटिक्स ज़्यादा वेरिएशन है उसमें, उसको भी थेरेपेटिक ड्रग मॉनिटरिंग नेसेसरी है. Having low therapeutic index, drugs having low therapeutic index needs therapeutic drug monitoring. Again, remember over here option D. So those drugs which are product, they don't need therapeutic drug monitoring. Drug which are product, they don't need therapeutic drug monitoring. Okay. Option D is the correct answer. If a drug is a competitive enzyme inhibitor, then in the enzyme catalyzed reaction, what will happen? So if drug is a competitive enzyme inhibitor, so in the enzyme catalyzed reaction, what will happen? Option A, Km value will increase, Vmax will remain unchanged. Option B, Km value will increase, Vmax will increase. Option C, Km value will increase, Vmax decrease. Option D, Km value will remain constant or unchanged and Vmax decreases. Remember over here, whenever there is a competitive enzyme inhibitor, whenever there is a competitive inhibition, Km value remains unchanged and Vmax decreases. But when in case of non-competitive inhibition, Km value increases and Vmax remain unchanged. कॉम्पिटिटिव इनिबिशन में क्या होता है? कॉम्पिटिटिव इनिबिशन में Km वैल्यू जो है वो अनचेंज रहता है, Vmax क्या होता है? कम होता है. लेकिन नॉन कॉम्पिटिटिव एंजाइम इनिबिशन में Km वैल्यू इंक्रीज होता है, Vmax अनचेंज होता है. तो यहाँ पे ऑप्शन डी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, राइट. So friends, if you want such kind of lectures, if you want full lectures, full chapter wise lectures, so you can join our GPAT NIPER 2023 online course. Here you will have live lectures on Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Recorded lectures will be available in our application. Study material provided in the hard copy. Online test series will also be there. All these included in the 8,000 rupees. We have very much promising result from past few years. If anybody needs my books also, they can call me. Thank you very much for watching this